Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to FTB Skies. Last episode, we worked through a little bit of the stuff with Elemental Craft, and we got their ore duplication process up and running for the netherite ingot thingy, netherite scrap, which I have kind of since done a little bit more work. We've got a few more things rearranged. Essentially, this is all I'm going to plan on doing with this mod should we ever need any more things. So I rearranged it out, got a few more nodes going so that we have a reasonable amount of earth and a reasonable amount of air coming in. If we need to set the other things back up, we'll set the other things back up. And it's not like I'm running out of these anytime soon, because all I got to do is make a quick run to the nether and go hit a couple of those, one of the things up, and one of the sky villages up, whatever, and there will be plenty of stuff to play with as we go. So this is all we need to worry about for right now. I went back and got a little bit more because I needed just a little bit more of the ancient scrap. or ancient debris. We will play with that a little bit further on, and for that matter, I actually kind of probably want to bring that with us because we are going to need that to craft some stuff. Hopefully, maybe later on today, or maybe in the next episode or two. So the whole goal for that whole deal is I wanted to be able to craft all of those little parts in order to be able to turn them in for a quest. So submit, 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 and submit. All right, nice. That's 100 XP, some netherite, and netherite oxygen can for adastral, and stuff that I'm probably just going to throw off the side of the thing here as we kind of work our way through some stuff. Let's go back upstairs to the little kind of messed up workshop as we work on through some of this, and we'll see where we go. I guess we can put you in a box somewhere for now. This is the kind of just catch-all random stuff that I don't need. We're going to have to start touching on a lot of this stuff because we've got like a few data models and whatnot that we can play around with for the hostile neural networks mod, which I love how everything seems to have managed to change its name. That's okay. We don't worry about it. We don't care. We're going to put that away. We're good. I'm going to put some books away because I don't need those anymore, and I guess those can stay in there as well. All right, so with all that being said, we got a bunch of work done, a bunch of very happiness, all that's I've been kind of just picking through these things as slowly as we can go, unfortunately, but that's one more of those done. We are not able to turn this one in until we start working on here, which means our next goal is to jump into Mekanism, because the first thing we need to make is 256 atomic alloys. Ouch. Right off the bat. Just, okay, fine, cool. This easy. I craft this right now. This is gonna probably take an episode in and of itself, but we do have the stuff, I think, to do some things with that. So let me see. It's this. Where's it at? SK. What did I do with those? I know I have a few of them laying around. They're in a box down in the stuff. We can kind of take a very quick dive into that, although we're not going to play with it today. Where did I put them? I do have two things that I found wandering around in the nether to be able to get that process started. That's going to be a thing all in of itself, and it's going to require us to get into bees, which means probably at the point in time we start fooling with this, we're going to start really kind of working with the bees. There is couple of things we really need to do with bees, and I've already worked on them, or been working on them a little bit as far as that process goes. We need a few of these guys, and they're gonna take a little bit of time. I actually probably, since that one's standing there, let us come here, you two. I need two more of you. Thank you. All right, cool. So we'll let those guys grow up, let them become a thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working down here in this lower section. I'm going to start saying that this section, aside from this area, we'll be moving those. We'll be moving those bees down in probably to the level below us down here, where there's going to be agriculture and bees and things. And if you press the hover button, you can actually see it. But we'll be building some stuff down here, and likely I will be doing another one of those layers down here. And as we need to, we'll just kind of go up and go down and do whatever. But I want to start working on a machine level outside of the create stuff that's happening. And we're going to start working on trying to get rid of some of that stuff as well. So we do have the ability to kind of push. Well, we're going to be able to do energy fairly soon and a heck of a lot better the ability once we get into the next step. So that is going to be, we're going to play with their version of how we should do things in this area here. And actually, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and click that so I can get it out of my way. I did have to make that so that I could make the disenchanting table the last time. We will touch on Apotheosis. There's going to be some things we're going to need to do before I get really crazy about trying to do some things, because I think I'm actually going to go to the end the hard way, which is going to be fun because it's always fun to fight myself. I want to see how hard I am in this pack. I doubt very serious that it's going to be that bad, but anyhow. So what we need to get started on, as far as all of this goes in Mekanism, we're going to dig down through here and get this going till we can get to where we can get to these things, which in reality, if I recall correctly, is nothing more than a bunch of these. So let's get us a metallurgic infuser times like about 4 going, 3 usually. I think it's going to be at least 3 we're going to need, right? Work on this for a second. Alloy. This into this into this. Yeah, so it's like 3 of those just to get that process going, plus all the stuff that you have to do as far as pushing things into it. So diamonds and the redstone, plus a bunch of other little things. So 3 of those, please, and then we can move forward. Infuser. Been waiting on this for quite a while, actually. 6 of those, and go bang. Nice. All right. And we're going to kind of work in this area, so I'm going to kind of say probably about right there is where we're going to do this. And actually, I'm going to make sure they're spread apart. I don't know why I broke that one, but whatever. We're going to be able to get to these. We're going to be able to work with them. And as it says in the thing, if you want to kind of start, this is one of those deals. If you want to start, you don't necessarily need to use power to run these things. You can just put a little bit of redstone in one of their slots. But we will take all of those. Thank you right off the bat. That's amazing. Their mechanism's pretty loud and annoying, so we can technically just put redstone in one of the slots in here. However, we do have the ability to run power, so the first thing I'm going to do before we even get excited with this, and this is the first thing I'm going to do before we even get silly and start going after any of those, is we need a better transmission of power. Where is it? Gadgets and gizmos. Yes, the first thing I want to do is we're going to dive right straight into this. And the reason why we need to dive into Mekanism first is because in order to get the flux dust, we have to mix obsidian dust with redstone. So let's start with that process right now. Now, I should have set up a thing. Why are you hovering? Oh, yeah, because we did that. I did set up a thing that will allow us to get a little bit of obsidian dust, so give me some of that plus some redstone. And let's get to work on some wireless transmission of power that I actually kind of enjoy. It will make our life a little bit easier. Plus, the first one is going to need to be this anyway. And then I need to just grab one of these. I should have one right there. Yeah? Come here. And which direction is that? That is south. South. Go. Yeah? No? There you go. And you can have... Did we get any speed upgrades and energy upgrades? Okay, cool. So, one... Can I have this, please? Put this down where we can see this. Upgrades. Go and go. Where did it put them? Upgrades. Go. Thank you. That'll help just a little bit. So, in order to get into Flux Networks and the ability to wirelessly transmit power all over this base without having to run any more cable, because I'm not going to be interested in running any more cable, we need to make a bunch of points and a battery and a controller and all those kinds of things. So, let's craft a bunch of this up and then we can move on. Okay, that should do the work there. What it is what it is. We do a few things. Let's get to work on this part. So, a flux core. The next step in cracking this little section open is going to require an Eye of Ender, of which we should be able to craft several of those without a problem. We've got lots of Ender Pearls and lots of Blaze Powder. And we have a friend. Dude, where are you? You up here? There you are. Hang on a minute. Another superstitious hat. Well, I guess it is what it is on that one. Okay. Onwards. Let's go keep moving through this. We need to make a flux core, so let's make a couple of those. Sure. Make like a bunch. Just make a bunch. There. That'll do. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. What are we going to get in this quest line? Anything? Probably nothing. Plug, point, control, storage controller. Okay, cool. So this is essentially just a very simple, easy way of storing power once you get to that point where you can do it. So flux controller, again, I'm not going to listen to them right off the bat. You want me to make a flux block, which is going to be flux dust and a few things. Hopefully we have enough to do this. So immediately go straight to, well, can we make one of those, please? No, we need flux blocks. Let's get the points and the plugs done. So at Flux Networks, we need a, let me see. Plug is what we're going to do first, so I need a flux block, at least 2 of those, please. Then we get a plug, click, and a point, click, ding, ding. All right, nice. And then that should be storage, which I don't know how ugly these are going to be. Those are just blocks. Right now we're good for the storage. The storage actually functions decently well. Those these cyclic batteries are reasonably cheap, and they store, you know, as you can see right there, 6.4 million FE, which that's got to get clear to this level before we can do better than that with those. But the controller is what I'm mostly interested in. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flux blocks. Can I do that? Or am I going to have to make more flux? Probably need to make more flux. Let's put you back over here real quick, and then we'll hook into some of this. Can I make another point? Points are the cheap ones. Point. Actually, we don't need the point. Let's just get the heck and do this the way we need to do it. So this goes back in here for right now, and actually I'm probably going to try to figure out a way to hook those in either direction. But I am going to say on the very top of this one, it's going to be exporting power, the northwest, east, south, net, up. Export power, and we're going to stick a plug on this one. And that is going to be a new network selection, new network. Where is the button? Add. Sure. Security. No. Fine. Create, since it's just me. And then we'll do network selection. This one. Thank you very much. And that should push into that, but it's not. Maybe they don't work with each other. Let's go see if this is going to work. Because the idea is, since we have these cool little blocks like this, all I should have to do is smack a point down, and if this works, like that, then you should be able to gather up power, and it does. All right, so then that'll charge everything this direction. So that means I could put this like in the middle of this chunk, and it'll charge, or at least should charge, all of these. So it didn't get to there. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Nice. That goes over there. Let's see, do. So this is going to be the center. We'll place something about like this for now. And if anything, like what I can do is I can just like bury it in the ground for that matter. We can do like this. So they'll point down there and that plug right on top of it, or the wireless thingy on top of it, so that I can then power everything to either side of it. That is very cool, very nice, awesome. And that will help us get rid of a lot of the wiring. So like any place that I feel like I just don't want to run wiring, so like that orange wire can go away, and fairly soon actually we could probably start getting to work on that other one. But this will allow us to start working again with the good old-fashioned Mekanism mod, of which we've been playing with for like a million years. So we need to make a bunch more of that powdered obsidian. So obsidian, Powdered obsidian, or what is this? Obsidian dust from this mod, which is going to be building a metallurgic infuser. You're just going to do this to there. That's going to be an enrichment chamber. So first start again, as always, we need to get after making some steel so that we can make some more stuff. But with this, theoretically, we should be able to work on those alloys, correct? Why are there so many things? Okay, so this is simple. It's just a metallurgic infuser with redstone and iron. This is diamond, which diamond, I do believe I just got to throw some diamond dust in there, or just diamond, yeah, diamond dust, of which we're going to have to grind up and do an enrichment chamber. So enrichment chamber is the next animal that we need to build in order to be able to get there, so we need to be able to make some steel. Steel in the mechanism process is going to be energized smeltering steel dust, which we make in a metallurgic infuser with carbon and enriched iron. Enriched iron is, again, carbon and iron. So we should be able to just kind of start pumping that into these. And it's not going to be too terribly hard to do. Let's go get us a little bit of iron and a couple of stacks of coal. So we'll just do that and that. Actually, I should have done it in the other one because it's a heck of a lot faster, but whatever. And I suppose while we're at it, I'll go ahead and crank out some more obsidian in the way that I was making the obsidian. You just go in there and get to work. Alright, so Flux Controller, that should finish the last little bit. That just took me a little bit of time to craft some more things, of which I'm still waiting on a little bit more things. There we go. Click. Give me one of those Flux Controllers. Alright, Flux Controller, very, very handy machine. We're just going to stick it over here by this so that it can kind of see what's going on. You're going to be part of this network. That's perfectly fine. Thank you. Now, power surge, bypass limit, not really worried about it. What I'm interested in here is armor, curios, main inventory, hotbar, offhand, main hand, enable wireless charging. Beautiful. That means I can get rid of that thing right there. Awesome. And we should be, well, once it finishes charging the other thing, I don't know if it's going to work. You're charged, or are you charging? You're supposed to be charging that. Armor slots, everything, hotbar, go, apply, enable, apply. Thank you. There, excellent. Those charge considerably faster than, well, this thing does. This is okay, but it's pretty slow as far as what it can do. So it can be relegated to the box, and we can go down here and do a little bit more goofing. So that should have done everything that needs to be done with this whole section here, Flux storage outside of this. I will eventually build one of those because they're probably going to be the best way to store things earlier than what we currently have. But we are working on making a little bit of steel, so steel dust, if use on you, we should be able to do that. So let's jump upstairs and cook this. Make sure your thing's off. And go to town. Zing, 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 zing. I do love how fast that is. I could even make it faster. Alright, we're getting our steel in, which means steel, we should be able to now make an enrichment chamber, so yeah, that, right there, that's what I want. You, make one of those, please, which means we need to make a couple of basic control circuits. I don't think I have any. We've been picking things up all over the nether. Let's go see if we can make a couple of those really quickly. Circuit, you can stop doing this right now, give me those. We'll continue to use these. Again, I will probably end up automating a lot of this as we go on, just depending on how we need to do this. So I need a control circuit, so we need 2 of these, which is 2 osmium ingots. One, we'll just do that, and 1, 2, go. 2 basic control units, and then we need to be able to make a frame. Which one is this one called? This steel casing. I knew I was wrong. Craft 1 steel casing, and then craft an enrichment chamber. Thank you very much. Enrichment chamber is going to allow us to do a few things for those. So you, I think we're gonna put you right there. You should be charging possibly. All right, cool. So I think I probably wanted that one over here, huh? Wow, sit down. Okay, cool. So coal, steel, dust, everything there is good. We can get rid of this. I don't need it. Don't need it for right now. We will eventually do a fair amount of more automation with a lot of this stuff. So next process, like I said, in order to get through a lot of this, we're going to be doing some of this, the basic little things going on. Where are we? We need mechanism. I want to move through either the machine tier upgrades or these kinds of things fairly soon, but it's going to want us to start dealing with this kind of stuff. As far as I can tell, all the way down to here, I don't think there's anything available that is necessary outside of these. So if we do these, we'll get a little bit more. So a basic tier installer is going to be 2 more basic control units. Let's go do that real quick. You do this. You can go in there. And if I recall correctly, this has a side config to output down, eject on, and you can, yes, nice. So what we'll do is these infused alloys can go in there and become infused with the goodness of the diamond alloy, and then they'll be pushed next door using whatever logistics I feel like doing, probably those things right there, into this little problem, which is going to be an atomic alloy. Oh, I forgot all about you. Ooh. I might. Which is refined obsidian dust. Refined obsidian dust, unfortunately, is going to be refined obsidian dust that we have to make into another metallurgic infuser that does a bunch of this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to spend a fair amount of time sorting through this to get it to work, but if we do that, those will make 6 reinforced alloys, of which we should be able to then do something like this. And then I need to make another one of those. Actually, I don't need to. I can just make a thing for this, huh? You go in there. Good. Why are you not pulling? Oh, side config, input. Yeah. That was weird. Why are you not ejecting? So, can I make one of those? Hang on a minute. The machine that does that. Upgrade. Why we have to name things in such ridiculously simple ways. So, basic tier upgrade is just a piece of stuff, and 2 more of those, of which I think we did. Yes, so I can do that to there. Make one, please, and then I can smack that in this. And then you can now do this, so that once this is completed here, I can then push this up there and you'll work on that. Yes. And as soon as we get one of those, put that in there. And I just have to do that a whole lot more times. Dink, 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 all the way down. So, yeah, that'll give me a few more of those. Go in here to there, and I suppose I probably should just start piling this full of the... I should actually be able to do this, can I? Can I put this in here? No, I don't want that. That's just regular redstone. The difference is you can kind of make things last a little bit longer if you use the machine to do the work there. But I know this is going to be kind of one of those all over the place things. I just want to get that second section, this first thing taken care of. So those will produce this. Once we can get a couple of more things built, I'll get a little bit of a speed machine going thing here. Refined obsidian dust, you go in there. I'm going to be dancing back and forth between these things, but there you go. So that'll fill that up nicely. Those can go over here, and that can get dropped into this one. So I can, I can push those things out either side of this with the way this configurator of the thingy works. I believe, if I recall correctly, it shouldn't be able to put something in it can't put in anyway. So either way, we should be fine. But yeah, I think we can kind of continuously do a little bit of this for the minute, and we'll just kind of let it work because, well, it's the next major goal. So I'm going to go ahead, spend a little bit of time right here. I'm going to knock out a couple more of these, I believe, and I'm also going to work on making some speed and energy upgrades. I love this part. Upgrade and then search through all of the silliness. So I want to make a few more of these and a few more of these so that we can make these work just a little teeny tiny bit faster, and then we should be good to kind of play around for a little while, I think. So I'm going to toss you in there. You get to working on that. You get to working on this, and then we'll just maybe here just very shortly have those ready to turn in. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alrighty, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first of the step of the next challenge that we're going to be handing in. That didn't take terribly long. I kind of just sat here and crafted a few things while it went through and did a couple of things. Did we get anything good? Oh, I got enriched carbon, and it didn't. I guess I really actually have to hand one of those in. Okay, so let's go ahead and dump those in the box so that we don't have to worry about them on the overpowered atomic alloying. Go ahead, submit those. That was amazing. That sucked. The rest of this we'll work on in the next episode or two. We'll go ahead. I'll have this ready to go off camera, and then we'll start talking about some of these things. Now, this is going to afford us action to very many things. So I'm currently making a little bit more flux dust, and we have an enriching factory now, as well as another few of these other little deals, and a crusher because I needed to kind of make a few things as far as those go. The ability to use the Flux Core network is going to be absolutely fantastic for us moving forward for any machines that we wanted to do. And I went ahead and kind of fiddled around with the logistical transporters as well, just because, well, you know, that's kind of some of the first thing you start doing when you kind of play around with Mekanism. This is going to be the beginning of some of our major automations going forward, so I kind of wanted to make sure we were actually doing things. As I move forward, I will be building more of the upgrades that we have for these machines so that we can get them all the way kind of cranked up, and we will kind of continuously work our way out through some of the other fun things that are going to exist. It didn't catch because it didn't catch this, so I'm kind of wondering actually if I'm going to have to make another one now. Let's see. I forget what these things are called. I can't ever remember what they're called. Click. Let's just get that open. So steel casing. Click in here first. Why that didn't catch, I don't know. Okay. Thank you. Good. So you got me some enriched carbon, a configuration card. Thank you. Enrichment chamber. That's nice. We can always use a little bit more diamonds since the diamonds are a little bit more expensive on some of the stuff that we need to do. Quest book, crusher, random food. Okay, well, whatever. Purification chamber. Well, we'll work through some of this as we work on through some more things. There's a lot of things, again, that they have you do for pretty much no reason other than to just kind of complete out the quest, and there are going to be things that we're going to need. Again, I'm kind of working on not using specific things for this, well, certain things for this playthrough because, you know, it is what it is, and we've touched on them many times. However, this area likely will be the majority of what we're going to do with Mekanism, so I'll be building a few more of those and a few more of the flux plugs, and we'll be kind of building them around this area. And I want to have reasonable access to the top in case we need to do some other things, like attach it to an applied energistics or refined storage system. So, I think with that said, that's the first thing started down that line, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not looking forward to this one. So, next time, we'll play with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.